Hey guys, hi Kat. Keeks, loved your video, Keeks. I see this is jiggly, so let me fix this here. I don't want my cord jiggly. Let's see here. Let's loosen this one. Okay, I think that's good. Cord's jiggling, so we gotta put a stop to that cord jiggle. Keeks, I loved your tour of your new studio. Y'all have to go watch Keek's new video of her studio room. Hi, Riri. Riri, you're such a nut, that book. I have to show it. Let me pull it over here. Let's see here. Riri. Let's see here. I'll show that in a minute. Let's see. Dawn, still jiggly. Why am I jiggly here? Let's see here. There we go. Maybe that'll help. Let's see. Where I saw Janet. There she is. Let's see. Terry Brett. I'll have to show Terry Brett's prompts. Let's see. Scrolling. I gotta get my boots on there. You're so funny, Janet. Hopefully it won't be necessary. Hi, Missy Johnson. Scrolling, catching up. Hi, Barbara Chicken Pot Pie Society, coming in with the song. Kristen, Pamela, how you doing, Pamela? Good to see you. Starla, good to see you. Tina Sweden, good to see you. Tina, Rachel, Rachel C. We have a few different Rachels. Let's see. Scrolling. Trying to catch everybody. Make sure you put it in caps. Let's see. Messy, CK. Okay, I know you always just stop in and got to get right to school. CK. Hi, me. Let's see. Joe Lou. Put it in put it in caps if you're talking to me. Right now, I see everybody because I'm looking for y'all. Let's see. Becky Hernandez. Scrolling. I think I caught everybody. If I missed you, I didn't mean to. So yeah, put it in caps if you're talking to me. Make sure you have all messages clicked at the top of the chat window, and so that you see. Hi, Green and Oz. Let me get a sip of my lemon water, maybe a bite of banana here. So my voice doesn't cut out, which it might anyway, but you know. Let's see. I did take a picture of Riri's project, the prompts. So because it's hard for me to get on IG, and I brighten it up just a little so it shows up better. Let's see. Let's crop this down a little so it's really clear. All right, there we go. Let's see. Icy? Anybody else I missed? All right, I've got to turn this a little bit. I'm trying to get it so that the cord doesn't jiggle. No jiggly. Let's see. Kimberly. And I missed saying hi to you the other day, Kimberly, when you popped in. I said, I go back and scrub through my chat and just to see if I've missed people. And I missed Kimberly last time. Good lemon water. All right, so we are going to do our mixed media magazine. I'm not going to do the MM. I forget the whole long thing we used to call it when we'd work in the mixed media magazine journaling. But I pulled a whole bunch of different ones for us to show the different ways. I will cut one down, and I will cut one down. And we will play in all of our magazine journals. Well, maybe not all of them, but a lot of them. Okay, so let's see. Let's turn the brightness back down a little now that I close them all. There we go. Let's see. Got your Woomer pen? Is it pencils? Woomers? You got your? Is that you're talking about the pencils? Me, the Woomer pencils. They're good pencils. I like them. I just don't like the plastic that they sit in. The tin is nice. The red tin box, that's nice. I just keep them all loose for now. Let's see. So hi to Missy. No, I might be missing somebody. The pencils. Me got the Woomer pencils, not me. Me. So I pulled paints. I pulled some collage fodder. I pulled some stickers. I pulled stamps, stencil, all kinds of things. And we're going to cut down. Well, if you don't like to see cutting, there's Angie. Angie, I'm going to do some cutting. So you might want to not look for a few minutes. And then we're going to play in the books I've already started in or worked in over the years. And I want to show you just some different techniques. I just thought it might be fun. We haven't worked in our magazine journals in a while, and it's something everybody can do. I know not everybody's going to do color books. I know everybody's not going to do the way I collage and the discs and the way I collage in the art journals and the painting. I know not everybody's going to do abandoned books. So, I thought everybody can do a magazine journal, and you don't have to cut it. You can use full-on ones. Like here, this one is 3. This is 3 magazines just glued together. So it's just a big, just three magazines glued together. So you don't have to even cut them down. But if you cut them down, you can cut them down to different sizes, different sizes. You can layer these, you can cut them down and glue those together. So this is 3 magazines cut down, glued together with the edges cut off. And I'm going to show you what to do with the edges if you cut the edges off. So you can cut them down to like this size. You can cut them down like here. I put a line here to show you can cut them down to this size. You can cut them any way you want. So, but don't throw away the edges that you cut off because you reintroduce those back into the magazines. Hi, Marsh. Good to see you. How you doing? Marsh, I sent you and the missus out a little something. Probably get it in a couple of days. Let's see. Can you show the Natalie? Yeah, I will show them again. This book I've already cut a bunch out of. That's why I keep it right here. This is the one that I've given some away, but I think you can get I'll flip through it while I'm reading chat, just so you can get an idea of some of the stuff. Now, like I said, some pages have been cut out of this. You hadn't heard of maggot? Well, Marsh, where you been, dude? I know you can't be at every stream for 15 years. How the chickens doing, Marsh? How your chickens? Marsh and his wife raise chickens. How they doing in this heat? Let's see. Thanks, Kat. Kat put a link into the sticker book here. I love this sticker book. I have more than one copy. And what makes it bad is my Books A Million sells it. So when I see it and I got a coupon or a clearance, or not a clearance, but a discount or something, I go, oh, yeah, I might just pick up another one of those. Because I love the Natalie sticker book. Look, see, and a lot of these are stickers on here, or it's a full page sticker, So yeah, see, they're big. Of course, I always cut the white edges off. It's insane how many kinds of journals there are, right? I know. Well, a magazine journal, anybody can do. Anybody can do a magazine journal. I'm telling you. Maybe we'll use these cats. Maybe we'll use these cats. I pulled this book to use today. I pulled it. Look how cute. So yeah, she has a very folk artsy style, and I love her book. sending you some cute chicken. Yeah, some chicken. Oh, trust me, Angie. I see hundreds of those, but I didn't see the one you had sent me. So yes, there's some cute chicken videos out there. I think chickens have taken the place of the cute cat videos, although I still see a lot of cute cat videos as well. But I love the cute chicken videos. You know, Arlene, did you get your happy mail? It said it was delivered. I hope you got it. I've tracked it. It said it was delivered, so you better have gotten it. Uh, and thank you for my little card, Arlene, for thanking Hubster for, well, but thanking us both, but service to the country. You did? Okay, good. Okay, good. I hope you can use it, Arlene. If you can't use it and you don't want it, you find someone else to pass it on to. Seriously. If you don't, I sent Arlene the keeping track of all the little diamond, diamond painting dots, the diamond dots. I guess that's what they're called. That I've done a few. I did a couple and I sent her an unfinished one. And well, I don't know how unfinished it was. Maybe I did finish it. I don't know, Arlene. You do what you want with it. So good. I'm glad you like it. Thank you for my card. Hubster liked the card too, Arlene. He goes, oh, how nice. He appreciates it. He was in the Army for 20 years. So yeah. Then retired, got another master's degree and went into HR. So he's and he's still working. He's talking about retiring soon, but I said, well, you better get a hobby. I don't know what you're going to do because he's in perfectly good health. So, thank the good Lord for that. Let's see. What else? I forget. You love chickens, Riri? All right. So that's the Nat. We'll see about using some Natalie Latte stickers today. And like I said, I pulled collage fodder. I pulled, some stamps, some foam stamps, some stencils. So I don't know. But first, and I got my little cutting mat here. I'm going to cut this down. All right. So a couple things on the cutting. And Janet, if y'all missed it, Janet did a conspiracy. She did a conspiracy art journal or showed her conspiracy art journal on Monday. And then we played Pictionary. But anyway, so Janet and I got our tinfoil hats. our version of tinfoil hats. Oh my gosh. Okay, so let's see. And I did print out, everybody seemed to like them, so I'm going to be giving away some of these. I have to cut them all down, but I printed out a bunch of the cards that I showed on Monday that Marsh made me get out. I mean, that I got out. So I'm going to cut those down for some of the giveaways that I have to still send out. All right, sip of water here. Let's see what we got. Hi, Debbie Howard. Let's see. You like our hat? Me and Janet and I both have that hat, Marsh. We got it for Mother's Day. Sorry, guys. Let me get a bite of banana. I do have one other thing that I got at Michael's last week. I forgot to show it on Monday. Well, Monday we were busy with our gel pens. So, and I still have to show. Let me show this real quick, too. Let me put Riri's name in it. I haven't looked at it yet. I just got it yesterday, and I haven't had a chance to look at it. But I'm going to show it, y'all, at least show you the cover. I texted her. I said, Riri, did you send me this? She went, yes. I thought you'd love to have fun with it. So, and we will have fun with it. Everything etiquette book. A modern day guide to good manners. Oh, we're going to have fun with this. I'm going to keep it with our prompt book. And our prompts in our prompt book. So I'm not going to go through it today, but on Monday we'll look through this and we'll do another out of the book that Kat sent. So yeah, we got stuff. We got stuff to do. So I'm going to show that on Monday, Riri. So thank you. That's going to be fun. Okay. Then Arlene, thank you for that. What else do I have here? Okay. I'm looking around at everything I got to show. All right. So over the weekend, over the week. Oh wait, while we're showing things off here, let me go to my pictures here and show you what Terry Brett did. So Terry Brett, and I don't have the prompts right here in front of me, but that you can see them over on Terry Brett 3 on IG. So I think there was a snake, a pig, an alien, the pansy flower, something else. Anyway, I just took a picture of it so I don't have all the stuff around it. But so here's what Terry did with all the prompts. And she's got, I'm sorry, what is this place? What are you? Who are you? Are you a human? And there's a little snake talking, hey, watch where you're putting your big feet. And then it's, like a little, I think garden might have been one. Then the pig over here, this garden is so pretty. So she did this multimedia collage using the prompts. And then she added to it. Then she said, well, she did a separate thing, but with the well, let me hang on. Let me grab the book because y'all aren't going to know what I'm talking about. Hang on. Hang on, it's on a shelf. I got to get it down. So this is the other prompts that we're doing. Well, not really prompts. The other thing we're doing on Monday is reading now the Lollygag book that Cheshire Cat sent. Hi, Nanamo. Anybody else coming in? So we read the A's, and we didn't read every one, but I checked them off the ones that we did. So we're reading, most of them, but not all of them. And every week we'll do another letter. Well, she made this out of the prompts or the letters that we did. So she did alakazam, and there's all these little chickens going alley oop, ahoy, and they're saying ahoy. And then here are the birds are all, here's what she wrote over here. The birds are all a Twitter. The chickens run amok. These are the words that we did. Yelling ahoy and alley-oop. The girl stands akimbo, loudly shouting alakazam in a vain attempt to restore order. Where is this here? Oh, here we go. We can call her when she's trying to, anytime someone's trying to restore order, I got something new. Ready? Wait for it. Wait for it. Chaos coordinator. So Terry, she's the chaos coordinator. So I love that you did that, Terry, with the words that we used from this book. That was really good. That was like a little extra something. Okay. So let's put this up here for Monday with the everything etiquette. We'll have fun with those on Mondays. All right. So there's something else here I was going to show before this. What was it? I'm looking around. I'm sure I'll think of it in a minute. You wouldn't say that if you. Well, my room looks I don't want to say it looks messy. It looks full, but I know where everything is. And the reason I like it is because it's open. Everything's on shelves. So when you come in here, you go, oh my gosh. But it's open so I can see everything. Mm-hmm. You couldn't resist, Terry. That was awesome. So y'all follow Terry. Let me click her here. Where'd she go? There we go. Terry Brett 3 on IG. And she almost does every week's prompts. Not everyone, but she keeps up with those prompts every week. If y'all don't do the prompts, you need to at least write them down to keep them in your Society of Idea Collector notebook. You're welcome, Terry. Thanks for making us laugh every week. Let's see. Okay. So I went to Michael's. I had a $5 off coupon. Anyway, I get, you get points and rewards. I don't do coupons anymore. They send it to you in your email. You got rewards or something. Well, anyway, I was going to the bookstore. So Michael's is right next to my Books A Million. I miss my Barnes and Noble that's close. So, but anyway, my Books A Million's pretty good. So apparently, I told y'all a couple of weeks ago, Michael's bought out Joann's, bought out their property, their I don't know, their stock. But anyway, so now my Michael's has kind of a small section of fabric, maybe a half aisle or so, and it's over there by the sewing section. But they also started carrying ribbons and trims, which is not over by the sewing section. Maybe they just haven't decided where it's going to go yet, so it may move over to the sewing section. But right now it was over like one aisle over from the jewelry, and it was the ribbons and trims were over there, over by the art stuff. That's how I see it. Because I rarely go to the sewing department. Sometimes at Hobby Lobby, I'll go to the sewing department if I need something to, needles or thread. No, not thread because I use DMC floss. But if I need something in the sewing department, I'll go. It's at Hobby Lobby because I don't have I never had a Joann's close to me, and Michael's didn't carry trims and ribbons, right? Well, they do now. And I saw these and I bought I bought 2 yards of one and a yard of the others. Thinking first off, my first thought was my Barbies, okay? Making something for Barbies. And then also thinking art journals, bookmark tabs, like tabs, here, let me grab a bookmark. Y'all know I buy these bookmarks to this is what comes in them, and I take this out and put in a collage something. But I bought, first let me show you I bought a yard of each of these. Look at these. I would never crochet these in a million years, but I thought that they would be good. I don't have my fabric scissors right here. Let me see if I can cut one of these with this. I'm thinking I'll probably put some fabric tack or some kind of, to make sure they're not fraying. But my idea was, other than making like a Barbie vest, cutting them up or a Barbie sweater. So I bought a yard of this, but I'm thinking like this, something like this on bookmarks or, across the top. I don't know yet, but that's what my thinking was something on the bookmarks. One thing plus the Barbie thing. So there was this one. So I bought a yard of that. Then I bought a yard of this. Aren't they cool? Might have to do that. That might be a good giveaway. A blank bookmark, and you can figure out what to do with it yourself. A blank bookmark and a piece of this. You could probably just put it in there too. You could probably put it on the inside. You could. There's lots of things you can do with it, but maybe we'll do a giveaway with this. Here, let me see here. Let me get my bookmarks up here. Let's see. That would be easy to mail too. Easy to mail. And this is what it looks like. Photo Booth. That's the brand name. Now I don't know if they're still around or not, because I've had these for probably a year. So I don't know if this exact brand, and I don't have a link. Don't ask my mods to find you a link. Just go look up clear plastic bookmarks if you want something similar. Okay. So like that. And then I'll do a couple of these. These are a little smaller and they have a little, it has a better trim line, if you will. It has a better trim line there. This one doesn't have the trim line. Maybe that one may not be the best to do. It looks like it's going to ravel. We won't do that one. We'll do these. And I got one other one too. So we got that. So let's trim a couple of these down. I'm trying to be really careful. Okay, that. And then the third one I bought High-End Makes. I bought 2 yards of this because I liked this one. Hi, Zinjin. Look, this reminds me of my grandmother's, there's a name for these kind of quilts that you crochet. Granny Square. This reminds me because she always used the black trim like this. Grandma always made her granny square quilts with black. So isn't that cute? Let's see if there's a, I don't know. That's another one that looks like it's going to be fray like, you know. I'll tell you what I'll do. We'll do a giveaway. When we do the giveaway, I'll let y'all pick which one. This one's not going to fray. Okay, that's not going to fray. But if you want one of these colors or a black one, you might get, it might fray. Just saying, there's not a place to cut it, cut it without fraying. Does that make sense? I hate saying, does that make sense? I hate hearing it. I hate saying it. It's just like, the common thing everybody says now. It's annoying. Anyway, I'll let y'all pick if you want a black, but look at all the different colors on there. Isn't that beautiful? So I did get 2 yards of this and then a yard of each one of these because this reminded me of grandma. So, and I'm never going to crochet this mini stuff. No, it's not happening. I got too many collages to make and other things to do. So this is what we'll do for a giveaway. 2 US, 2 international. And I'll let y'all pick what you might want if you win it. How much? Oh, good question, Amex. I think these were $6.99 a yard. This one might have been $7.99 a yard, something like that. Between 6 and 8. $6.99, $7.99 for this one a yard. So, it's not real cheap, but look, I'm never going to make that. And I thought for Barbie, to make her a little, back in the vest, or use this as a front and a back and a sleeve, 2 sleeves. Do you know what I mean? Like that. So it could make a little Barbie sweater, if you will. All right. So I'm going to set this aside. Now, somebody remind me, maybe about 11 we'll do that. Okay. So if y'all have to, go get coffee or whatever you got to do, we'll probably do it around 11 if somebody wants to remind me. Okay. If I don't remember, I try to remember. All right. So back to the look like a reverse of your smiley flower. I don't know if have I seen your smiley flower, Arlene? Do you want a pink one, Arlene? I'll send you a pink one. Hang on. Arlene pink square. Okay. All right. So let's see. So back to this. Now, I've shown you don't have to cut them up. You can just glue a whole bunch of them together. You don't even have to glue any together. You can just use a magazine, put a different cover on it. This is just, and this one's old. This one's probably at least 10 years old. And you could just use a full-on magazine. You can cut the magazines in half. You can cut them down in like this size. You can cut them, like here's a Daphne's Diary you cut in half. Here's one that I cut down to this size and glued a bunch together. And they don't have to be the same magazine. They could be all different magazines, just cut down the same size. I do like, if I'm going to glue them together like this, to use this gaffer tape that's real sturdy and strong, and it makes a nice binding, and it's going to help hold it together. That being said, sometimes you still get pages that are loose. You're opening and closing the book like this a lot, flat open. Some pages might come loose, just like a magazine would. So you can just tape them back in. Hi, Joanne. Peeking out, let's see. Thanks, Angie. Mama 4. Okay. So that's what I did with this one. And then put the gaffer tape. Just if you go on Amazon, look up black gaffer tape. You get a big roll, and Gaffer, I believe, is also the brand of this tape. I mean, it's made to like for theater, movie, to put it over the cords on the stage so that people don't trip over cords. I think that was the original use of it. But it's not duct tape. It's different than duct tape. And it's got a texture to it, like fabricy, like. Okay. I love the stuff. I love the stuff. And it just makes a great binding. Okay. Here's where I used it on this little one. So you can cut them down, and I'm gonna go through them and show them. But first, I'm going to cut this one down. All right, couple things on cutting them. First off, if you don't think you're gonna like cutting them down, okay, hang on. All this is gonna roll away. I gotta find a spot for this. Okay. My little table back here is full too. All right. All right. You want to use a metal ruler. Don't even think about using a plastic ruler. Don't even think about it. Just get that out of your mind. Do not use a plastic ruler, period. Well, they're glued together too, Marsh. If there is gluing the sections together, they are glued together. So like here, like the see, I'm gonna get ready to pull it apart. Well, I'll just pull it apart so you can see. Okay, so they are glued together, but this like reinforces it. Okay, keeps it tight too. Plus, it just keeps it together better. Okay, so you want a metal ruler, and I use a box cutter just because it's quicker than an X-Acto knife. You can do whatever you want. If you don't like cutting and don't even want to think about cutting, either use a full magazine, or sometimes Staples, Office Depot, they have a cutter to cut these. And for a couple of bucks, well, it used to be a couple bucks, I don't know anymore, they will cut it for you. So, and it'll be perfectly cut. Mine are not perfectly cut. Look, see, they're not perfect there. They're not like machine cut. They're hand cut. This is, this is pretty straight there, but again, they're hand cut. Look, there you go. See? So it's not going to be, they're not going to be perfectly cut, just FYI. So there you go. Yes, I use Eileen's tacky glue. Eileen's tacky glue, Marsh. This. This is what I use to glue them together, to glue the different signatures, if you will, together. Okay. Now, today, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to glue a bunch of them together. I'm just going to show you how I cut one down and what to do with the offcuts. Don't throw those offcuts away. Plus, you can glue different ones together if you want. It doesn't have to be the same. It could be two different magazines. It can be any magazine. Just cut them down the size you want, glue them together, tape them. And you can just use packing tape, duct tape. But I would recommend some kind of tape on the spine. Okay, so let's see. Put it in caps if you're talking to me like Marsh did. Thank you, Marsh. All right. So I'm going to... I don't know let's see, what size was this one? I want it about the same size as this one. We'll just go with that. All right. I don't even know what size. I'm just gonna put this down here. We're just gonna make it. All right. So I think I'll make a tall, skinny one. Maybe I'll even make it skinny. Maybe I should make a skinnier one. Or maybe, let's see, that's about that size. Do I want an even skinnier one? Let's make an even skinnier one. I haven't made a tall, skinny one in a while. Let's do that. Okay, so I'm just taking a Sharpie and putting where the line is. So I'm going to cut this side off, and I'm going to have a tall, skinny one because I don't have one right here. I've got all the other different sizes. So what you're going to do, though, is you're going to keep these offcuts because you're going to reintroduce those back into, that's a little, maybe I'll make it about half that. I think we'll make it a little bit bigger. Just make it a little bit bigger. Let's do that. And you're going to keep this because you're going to use all these offcuts to reintroduce it as collage fodder back into, if not this book, another book. Um, yeah, no, I love desk journals and I love them all, Keeks. All right, so and you have to have a cutting mat, okay? All right, so I'm gonna just go like this. Angie, look away, or anybody else that doesn't want to see me cut. Hopefully, and you want to put very hard pressure on this. If your hand gets tired, take a break, okay? And I'm going to use a box cutter, but you could use an X-Acto knife. It'll take you longer. You want a brand new, I just snapped a brand new blade, brand new sharp blade, a metal ruler. I cannot stress this enough. Ask me how I know that you don't want to use a plastic ruler. I'm telling you, it will slip right up and cut you. Don't, just telling you, use a metal ruler. Now, I'm not going to look at chat while I'm doing this. I'm going to concentrate. I'll stop every now and then and look. Jigsaw to chop up. Well, yeah, I guess I don't have a jigsaw. You could do that. I would just take it somewhere and have it done for me if that was the case. What fave thing to use magazine journal for? Just for, you'll see. We're going to go through them and play in them in a minute. Okay, to play with Zen Jen. All right, so I'm going to hold this down tight, take my cutter, and here's what I do. I take my time. I really should stand up. Let me just stand up. Okay, and I do a couple cuts, and then I just slide them off like that. Get them out of my way. Let's move it up a little. I keep hitting my head on this camera. Sorry, guys. They don't have to stay in any kind of order. You just want them out of your way. Oh, I moved it. So hang on. Let me get back on track here. If the camera moves, I have a hair clip in my hair and I keep bumping the camera with it. So just give me a minute. Okay. All right, I'm going to give my fingers a little rest. Now, you can cut this down. You could cut this down. You could get 3 or 4, or you get 3 of like this size. You can cut it down to this size. You could cut this in half. You could leave it long. I'm going to leave this one long because I just don't have one that's long right now. All right, so what you want to do with these now, this is what I do next. I'm going to show you what I do. Okay, they don't have to be in any kind of order. Let me move this ruler out of the way. Usually the next thing I do, Sam was right, you need a hard hat. Well, I don't have a hard hat, but I got my chicken conspiracy hat. Janet put a little thing on hers that says, "Ask me anything." All right, so let's move this. All right, so now what I do, and you don't have to do this at this stage, but this is what I usually do. If I cut something down, I got all these extras sitting right here, is I will go through, and you don't have to even use them in this book. You could take and use whatever you got here in any other book or for any other purpose. What I'll do now is I'll go through, let me get my trash can handy. I'm going to go through, and if there's nothing on them I want, like I don't want any text, I don't want any advertising. So the backs of these have a lot of advertising. So those go in the trash or recycle, whatever. And I'm just going to go through and see if there's any little bits that I think are interesting, and I just tear them down. It doesn't really take as long as you think. Because you're only going to be attracted to certain things. You're not going to be attracted to everything. But make sure you check front and back, because you might find something, on the other side that you like better. And I mean, that's pretty, but it's not attracted to me. I like this blue. I'm picking just what I like. The rest is going in the garbage. Remember, and you're going to alter all this too. This is a piece of the cover. I'm not going to use that. I like that little cog, that wheel. And you can cut it down further later. Right now, I'm just tearing off the pieces that I like, that attract to me. I like this blue. I like this. And over here on my left, I got a trash can. So I'm just throwing the bits that I don't want in the trash. Just like that window. Again, this is all beautiful, but I know myself. I know what I like and what I might or might not use. So I'm not keeping a bunch of scraps that I know I'm not going to ever use, because I've got a gazillion scraps, right? I like some of that color right there. Just tear that in half. Okay, is anybody saying anything in chat? Please give. Oh, thanks, Kat. Okay, here's a bunch of pieces where you're supposed to do a project. Little Frida. More Frida. See, it doesn't take too long. But you want to go through this because you can reintroduce these scraps back into this journal or one of your other journals. Do you have other ones? Maybe a little of that green. Maybe that flower. And you don't have to go as fast as I'm going. I just know what I like and what I might, and I may not ever use, but I'm whittling it down. Whittling it down. Okay, there we go. So out of all that, I have this. Okay. No, it keeps. You've seen how many bags of scraps I have, Arlene, plus my collage books and everything. All right. So then what I do, and now here's one of the things that is a little different that I use in these, that if I'm doing other kind of collage, y'all know I use my golden matte medium. I really don't use the golden matte medium in these. These are just more for play, for ideas, for inspiration, for color scraping, color blending, color matching, color playing, that kind of thing. So I'm not using, these are not made for, I'm not going to put golden matte medium and this is just for play. That's why we used to call it the mixed media magazine play. I forget what we call it. It was like 6 or 8 letters. Anyway. Okay. So I'll just go ahead and do this one because it's brand new, but I haven't really done anything in this one really either. I could do it. This one might be easier to do because it's smaller. Maybe we'll just do that. Okay. So now you have a half magazine. And again, personally I would probably just cut this in half again. let me go ahead and say this. This is a good point. If you're going to cut your magazines down into smaller pieces, when you go to cut them smaller, well, maybe I should go ahead now. You want to start on the spine, at the spine at the top. When you start cutting, cut from the spine down because this is all glued together, right? So you need to, when you're cutting these down, cut from the spine. Cut from the spine. If you cut this way, this is glued, so there's no leeway in this. So you start cutting here and it's going to start doing all kinds of stuff. You have to cut from the spine. That's very important. Write that down in your society. I'm telling you, if you start cutting over here, it's going to get all wonky and jacked up real fast. So you want to cut these down starting with the spine. Like this, okay? Just FYI. Don't cut the other way because it's going to get, it won't work. Y'all forewarned. All right. So here's one that I've cut down and glued together. And again, look, they're not perfectly cut. Just, if you want it perfect, you're going to have to take it somewhere. Just saying. Put it in caps if you're talking to me. All right, so I have all these scraps. So the next thing I would probably do, depending on my mood, of course, is I would just kind of lay these out a little bit. And again, I'm going to use, and let's go ahead and just put some glue in thing here. Let me get my, this is what I use for my matte medium. I could clean this out. No, I'm not going to do it. It takes too much work. I'm just gonna put some glue out because it's easier to do it this way. You don't have to do this. You can just glue one little piece at a time. I mean, one little, with the tip off. But anytime you glue, and I know I repeat myself saying all these things over and over, but anytime I do a project, I'm assuming there are people that have not heard the steps, the projects, the techniques, the products, whatever. And so I try to be aware that there's going to be people that haven't heard, don't know, haven't seen certain tips. When you are gluing something in, all right, here, let's just take this for example. We'll just go, and this has I've already gone through this and put collage in here. So even though I haven't painted in this one yet, I have collaged a lot of things in here. I can just tell, and I can feel it too, right? So, a couple of tips about collage and gluing. Number one, matte medium is the best. Golden matte medium is my favorite. But this is just to play in. I'm not going to, I don't want to say waste golden matte medium in this, but this is just to play in. And you'll see when I show you some of the other magazines here in a minute, what I mean by playing. Torn edges blend better with paint, and these are all going to have paint on them. They blend better if you have a torn edge rather than a cut edge. Does that mean I never cut anything? Absolutely not. I fussy cut a lot of things, but it's usually when it's on top of other things that have already been painted in. If I know I'm going to paint things in, I tear the edge because the paint, it'll blend better with paint than a cut edge. This you will not be able to see as much after you've painted it. As a cut edge, you're going to see a line in your paint. Okay. The other thing, when you go to glue these down, and this is just how I'm going to do it here. You can use this and put it on here, swirl it on. But if you don't want lumps and bumps, you need to take your finger and smooth it out. I know not everybody likes to touch glue paint. What I like about Eileen's Tacky, though, is it rolls off your finger. So, it'll just roll in balls and just crust up and come right off your fingers. Unlike golden matte medium. Matte medium is not going to do that. You will have a heck of a time getting the matte medium off your hands. Okay, so there we go. And you could take a card. Let's see, I got some here. You could take a gift card or something here and smooth it down. All right. But it's pretty smooth with a whole layer of tacky glue. All right. Let's see. Am I getting any questions? I'm not seeing any questions. So y'all ask questions if you got them, because I look over here and I'm looking for words and looking for things in caps. Okay, so I'm not ignoring you. Put it in caps. All right, so I've got all different kinds of little pieces here, just and I don't really overthink this. I'm going to flip to the next page. I'm looking here. Do I see anything right here? Maybe Frida. Okay, so I'm going to tear Frida down here. And if you tear it one way, you don't get a white edge. If you tear toward you, you're going to get a white edge. So I think I'll just tear her completely down here. I'm going to take the glue and keep some baby wipes handy so that if you have to quickly answer your phone or something, you can, clean your hands off quickly. Which, let me go ahead and do that. So, see, this has already been other collage down. Hi, Devin. How you doing? We're just working in our magazine journals. Let's see. Do I want to do that? A little bit right there, right above that bird. I'm not, like I said, don't overthink it. If you have an instinct to put a little piece of blue, just do it. It's a magazine journal. You're supposed to be plain in it. Also, though, if you get glue coming out of the edge here, take a quick baby wipe to it. Otherwise, if there's glue there and you go to the next page, you're going to glue those shut. You're going to glue your pages together. So you want to make sure you don't have any seeping glue, right? No glue seepage. Ixnay, the glue seepage. Let's see. Brooke with an E, Linda, Flo. Hi, Flo. Let's see. Okay, so we're going to keep going here. And again, I'm just kind of looking. I'm not overthinking. I have my trash right next to me. So as I do this, Janet, I'm throwing it right in the trash. Okay. So just like I said, just be careful not to have any. You can feel it, right? See, now that's kind of wet because I used the baby wipe to make sure there was no glue. But you're going to paint on these and everything. If you don't worry if you're getting a little bucklage on something. This is not fiddly. Okay, yeah. Thanks, thank you. Thanks, Devin. And don't forget, Devin comes on at 3. Oh, I almost said 1. At 3 Eastern on Wednesdays. Okay, so I'm just going to keep flipping and just kind of looking. I'm kind of looking at both piles at the same time. Do I see something I like? Maybe this little bit. Maybe I'll cover that up. I try to either cover up or paint out all the text and advertisements or the words or, Okay, so we're going to do this for a minute, then we'll get out the paint. All right. You don't have to do every page. You can just skip around. I've already, like I said, see, this has already been collaged in. I just haven't painted in this one yet, but there's already a lot of collage in here. Okay, there's a little bit of green there. Let's add a little bit more green. It's just easier and quicker for me to dab my finger in that glue rather than use the bottle. But you don't have to hurry and rush like I'm doing. I'm trying to get as much, info out as possible. So I go a little fast. Let's see. I said hi to Kim. Hi, Mary. How you doing, Mary? Everybody was saying on, and it's true. I thought about it after I showed the book. I don't know if you saw this on Monday. Let's see what I put it. Hang on, I'm flipping here. Here it is. Did you see me flip through this book, Mary, on Monday? Everybody said, "Oh, that so reminds me of Mary," and I thought it does. This does remind me because Mary and I both do carved stamps, but Mary does do a lino type technique. When she carves her stamps, do kind of have this flavor. So yeah, Mary, go back on Monday and look at this. I did a complete flip through on Monday of this book. It's all lino. Isn't that cool? It's a collage soup book. You can get it off of Amazon. I showed a complete flip on Monday. So, yeah. Everybody thought of you, Mary, on that one. All right, let's keep going here. Maybe this. Oh, I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, maybe this one. So we're just working in the magazine journals today, Mary. I showed how to cut one down and how we glue things in, mash them down. You got any glue there, and you can tell you got glue. You want to wipe it off. You don't want to glue your pages together. All right. So again, just kind of, and I'm not going to, probably do all these because I've already got collage in these, but I do want to kind of show you how my process works. And I do a lot of stuff by color. I do a lot by color. Let's do a little bit of here. And I'll show you in the big one that I have over here how it was one of the first ways I did a video probably at least 10 years ago, this book on how you can learn to blend your colors in collage. It's the best practice I could tell y'all to do. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. You know what I mean? Thanks, Kat. There you go, Mary. Kat just put a link to that book if you want to. That's one of the things about I hate that they don't have, like on Collage Soup, they don't have flip throughs. So you have to go to people's channels, which we don't mind supporting them and going through them and whatnot. But yeah, you can't see what's inside the books. So thank you that we have YouTube. Don't be afraid to overlap. Go over things. I'm feeling it as I go to make sure there's no loose glue that's going to stick my pages. I'm going to do a few more here. I'm just flipping and looking and flipping. So yeah, because one of the way I do collage, the mixed media collage, the way I do it, where I use mixed media and paint, you have to, if you go back and look at my altered abandoned books that I also have been working on over the last 10, 12 years or however long I've been working in those, the better you can blend things out and together, the neater it's going to look. So this it's a great practice. All right, let's see. Put it in caps. You got any questions? I'm looking. Let's see. Mary said, "Gee, I still have 2007 800 You do? You still have your 2017 magazine, Mary? Aw. Well, we've been doing this for a long time, I think this if not this one similar, because how I started with these was just gluing a bunch of magazines together without cutting them down, just using the full-on magazine. And then I think it got a little too much for some people because it was so big. And, again, you can just use one magazine. It's not as fun, but you can. And so we started cutting them down, when those back then started being too big, too unwieldy to work in, And you can also use these bits of collage that you keep off the side cuts. You can use them in other things. You don't have to use them just right here, but it's just to see, now that's wet and I'm afraid that's going to stick. Let me just make sure here. Hi, you go. I just want to make sure. I don't mind if it's a little wet, but if it's glue and water, it's going to stick. So, and I have my heat tool here. I could, All right, let's see here. See, something stuck right there. You can just glue some more over it. Hope I can find that blending video. Oh, well, there's lots of them, Marsh. I've got 1,500 videos. And here's the thing about, I try to put things in playlists. Like you'll see abandoned altered books. That might be the best one, Marsh, to see some of the blending. If you want to see this magazine, I can't direct you to an exact video. You can look up Mixed Media Magazine in the playlist. You can look, there's different, just go look at, y'all all just need to look at my playlist, because there's just different things. And y'all know here, when we stream at least 3 hours a day, I rarely, there could be a rabbit trail on anything. Okay. But what I mean, Mark, let me see. Let me I'll show you an example. Let's see if I can get to it. Cat's laying here. In one of my here's abandoned castles. So let me just kind of show you one that's, okay, here we go. See how this is all blendy? How this is blend? Well, there may be something here in the background that I've blended the color into. Let's see. Here's another, this is a good one. So like this is part of the original magazine right here. This right here, I'm feeling this right here is part of the magazine. Everything else is painted in. But I've blended the paint, and it's all just acrylic paint, guys. It's just craft paint. This is all craft paint, and for a couple different reasons. One, craft paint that's matte craft paint, and I just like my deco art. I like the Americana deco art. Because I got lots of colors and I just like it. The matte, and it doesn't say matte on it, but you don't want satin, gloss, or metallic for this. And so I use those paints to blend out and get rid of everything on the page that I don't want. Thank you, Kat. Kat put my playlist link up there. Once that paint is dry, it's not going to stick the pages together. Okay. Sometimes in these books, I do varnish them when they're complete. And I use, let me show you. I'm going to show y'all everything, because I get questions and then people go, well, I don't know. And I didn't know. And it's stuck together. And oh my. I use this Deco Art Americana DuraClean High Gloss Varnish. It is a water-based varnish. If you varnish any of your pages, and I might have one varnished in here, I don't know. If you varnish your pages, you have to leave them open. And this one's not varnished, but I just came to another page. Leave it open overnight until it's 100% dry, or you're going to stick your pages together. Okay, but I've not had any problem with any pages sticking together with this paint as long as it's dry. Okay, thank you, Kat. So, Marsh, what I'm saying is, on the blendy part, is I will find something in the page that the color or something, and there might have this half of the book might have been all text. Okay, let me find one that has text here. I'm trying to find with a lot of text. All right, here we go. Like this. There's been nothing done to this page. This is how the book would look if you just bought it. Lots of pages like this. And you're going to have this, you're going to have text. And I love my Kieran Connolly books. He knows I alter his books. I've sent him actual pages from the book, and I tag him every time I use his book on Instagram. His books, he has Abandoned Castles, Abandoned Places. It's lots of different abandoned books, but Kieran Connolly is my favorite. So what I'll do is, for instance, this page, there is text right there. And I want to blend this out. Y'all want to do a rabbit trail? Let's see. Did you used to reverse collage in those magazines? Yeah, I've done a lot of different things in these magazines. That's why they're play. And that's why I'm going to show this one of these original ones, Mary, because it does show how to do the reverse collage. And reverse collage means you get rid of stuff. You're painting away. You're painting out stuff. So here, let me hang on. I gotta get a piece of wax paper. This is fine because we're playing, and so it all ties together. All this ties together, right? All right. So for instance, I have this page here, and I have a lot of gray, pink, and I don't want this. A lot of times I'll start by just getting rid of the border with black, because I use a lot of black in my, collages and stuff. But let's just start. I'm just going to do this part right here. I'm not going to do the whole page because I want to get back to the other thing. All right. So there's pink and purple. So let me get a tray here. All right, let's see. Pink. This one doesn't have a lot left in them. I have to dig out another one. I don't need a whole lot, but. And let's see. Maybe a little bit of this. And then maybe. And this that I'm getting ready to show you is also in the magazine thing that I'm going to do here in a minute. And then I'm looking at my colors. Okay, that's a little. I got those two guys. I think I need this blue. All right, so the thing about practicing in the magazines, which is what I'm going to show you, the thing about practicing in your magazine is all this starts to become easier and easier. Hi and bye, Annie Mae. To dress, let's see what she say. To dress like a grown-up to go. Okay, thanks for stopping in, Annie Mae. Hi, Melinda. Let's see, who else am I missing? Okay. And then maybe I should just get out a little bit of brown just to get it started, just so you can kind of see a little more. All right. Just again, this is just a quick demo of this. Okay. You want some wax paper behind your page, and not that I care that it gets on anything else, but if you get paint going over, you're going to glue your pages shut. Okay. Hi, hi, John. Good to see you. Do you miss us coming over to your channel for the Oak Island? Or are you enjoying the summer off? Are you enjoying the summer off, John? You don't miss it? Do you watch Skinwalker Ranch? John's our go-to for all things Oak Island, and he would do a show, the day after, and everybody talks about it, and we didn't find anything, just a bunch of wood. Oh, you got a new drone video in July over Oak Island. Okay, all right. I follow you, John. So if you do a video, it'll pop up in my feed. No Skinwalker? Okay. Well, thanks for stopping in, John. Y'all need to go follow John. He's fun. Okay, so we got these colors, these three colors, and this is just how I would probably start. Okay, there's a lot of brown here, so I'd probably just go ahead and start with brown. I'm just trying to get rid. It needs a little more. It needs a little gray in there. So let's put a little more brown. And you get used to mixing and matching colors by doing so much of them. Oh, I could probably use this blue gray here. Let's just do this. So I'm going to just pick out some blue and some brown. More brown. Let's just get rid of, I'm getting rid of the white. Okay. I'm getting rid of the white. All right. So now maybe I'll move this in here. And again, I might do the whole edge black. Okay. And then I might come back in here with the brush and do more brickwork. Right now, this is just reversing out. This is getting rid of the white and blending it in. This is how I start all these pages like this. Okay, may not look like anything right now, but that's not the point of this exercise. The point of the exercise show you how to get rid of it, get rid of the edge. Okay, so like that. Then I might come back in here with, some just to start making it look more textury. I don't want to get in the weeds. I don't want to finish this page right now, but this is how I would start it. And then with the pink and the purple, I might not want any of this. So there's a couple things you can do. If you have a dark area and you want it lighter, you can go ahead and put a coat of, just some white down just to get rid of that. Just to get rid, and you can use a brush if you want, but so let's just get rid of that. You can do this, or if there's going to be a lot of black, I would have just done that with black. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and take a heat tool and dry this particular, because I'm going to go over it with the pink and the purple. Mary, you're so cute. I think it's dry. All right, so now I'm going to take the pinks and the purple and it needs a little of that blue in there. And I'm going to get rid of the white and yet maybe blend some clouds in there. Let's get some more pink up here. More pink in here. Okay, like this, and I'd carry it all the way around or over or wherever I was going with it, like that. Okay, some more of the blue. Maybe carry some down down in here. This is very subjective. It's just what you like. You see how I how I blended all that in to the colors? Again, I would take it all the way off of this side. Then I might want to say, okay, well, that's nice. And now it needs some clouds. Let me get a little bit of white here. All right. Pick up a little bit of white. Let's do a little bit of clouds. Maybe there's some mist or something coming out. Maybe there's some mist coming out of this window, which I wouldn't do this until I had this done, but I want you to kind of see how you can do kind of different things. Maybe the mist is coming through this door. That. Okay, there's clouds. So this is reverse collage. You're reversing out something. You're getting rid of something. Okay. All right. Plus, this is what I wanted to show you here was the blending part. I'm taking the colors that are here. I'm matching them up fairly well. And the more you do it, the more you're going to be able to blend and mix and match your colors. Okay. You just will get it. You do it for years and years and years, and you get better at it. But my point of this, other than showing Marsh what I was talking about, is this is the best place to practice this. Okay, so I'm going to move this off the table here. All right, so now you got the idea here of how I take collage pieces, and you can add a lot. Let me get some more baby wipes, clean my hands off a little. You can completely cover this if you want with collage, but the same process, and I got to get some wax paper. Hang on. the same process that I just did in the abandoned book. Hi, Tina. Welcome in. But it hasn't to alter your book. Yeah, well, you practice. That's why you're going to get out your mixed magazine practice books. Okay. So after you've added a bunch of different, pieces of your collage, because you're making these pages your own, right? So the more collage fodder you add, to different things, matching up, blending, just the more you add to it, the more color and texture and stuff you have. Here's one that I've worked on. So here we go. Okay. Then you can take your paint and start getting rid of the white or blending in other things. Okay. So here's a page. Now I'm going to show you some other pages that this book doesn't have much finished, but I wanted to start with this to show you the next step, right? Of taking your collage fodder, the leftover pieces that you cut off of the edge of your books, and glued them in. Okay. So this one's, again, got a whole bunch of little ones cut down. Then we have, hang on, I'm going to show some different ones. All right, let me move all this out of my way. This is the one we just cut down. So you have half a thing, or you could cut this down into smaller, like this. It's a little one. Where'd it go? Here it is. You can cut them down into a whole bunch like this. All right, so I'm going to show you this. I've got to move some stuff out of the way so I have some space. And you can use different tools, and which we're going to get to in a minute. All right, let's see what I got here. I'm going to move this one off the desk because I showed you this is just continually adding stuff here. Here's a small one. Put it in caps if you're talking to me. Okay, here's a small one. Now, this is exact same thing, but this one's got the paint added to it. It doesn't have a lot of stamping, stenciling. Let me grab a stamp here and a stencil because we might do a little with this just to show you. Okay, let's see, where's what did I do with my palette knife? Oh, don't I have it handy? I don't have my palette knife handy. Ugh. I've got to sort through some of my tools. I know, I showed y'all my bin here. All right, well, I can't find my palette knife right now, so what we'll use is we'll just use a card instead of a palette knife because I don't see it right here, and I don't want to spend all morning looking for a tool. So I got a stamp, a stencil, a palette knife, or something to scrape with. All your, paint colors, and collect your paint colors up. They go on sale, 50% off, 40% off. You can, get you 10 at a time. Again, guys, when I show you how much stuff I have in this studio, please remember I've been in this studio for 24 years. I think 23, 24. Cameron was 2, I think, and he's 26. So I think 23, 24 years I've been in this room. Not locked in, but, kind of. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so let's move that one. That's kind of similar. You can use your wipeout tools to, paint in and scrape out. You can use that. Here's a couple more little foamy things. What else do I have over here? More stencils. All right, so this should be enough to start with or to play with. All right, so let me go ahead and show you this little one. I'm going to order a haul of Somerset back issues. Somerset has a sale. Okay, there you go. I used to save them, and I still have a lot of my Somerset studios downstairs from the 90s, the late 90s, early 2000. I did keep some of those, but I had every magazine that Somerset Studio and Art Journaling put out. I had to downsize hundreds of magazines. So I did get rid of a lot of things at one point. Okay, so let's see here. Let me get rid of some of this glue off my finger, some of the paint. And I like to finger paint, so as you could see a minute ago. I like to get in there with my fingers and move paint around. I just like it. If you don't like it, you can use a brush. All right, let's move the glue, move the paint. All right, we got some space. We got a little space here. This is my space right here. All right, so next, let me show you this little one. So it's all, again, it's all the same. So this has been reverse collaged out. It's been painted out. Okay. So, and I won't show you every page, but I'll do a kind of a flip through. So after you've done painted out, you can go back in and add stickers. You can go back in and add like here we go. Let's just pick a Natalie something, something here. Let's see. Just to kind of give you all an idea what I'm talking about here. Let's take a bird here. Now y'all know I don't like the white on the stickers, and I also don't trust the stickiness of stickers. I always use glue. So I got my glue sitting right over here. I'll get that too. Marsh, I hope that helped on the blending part. I'm going to show you the big magazine here where I showed you where I practiced a lot. All right, so now I've got a little bird. And I got my glue, put a little extra glue on here. And now I can come in here and add more things. See? So you can continue to play. You can continue to play, add more things, add words, text, and you could even write. If you write with the ballpoint, like a Bic ballpoint pen, will write over acrylic paint. It's one of the few things that don't get ruined. Writing over acrylic paint, you use a Bic ballpoint pen. Or I think y'all in the UK call it a biro. Okay, so see what I'm saying? You can stamp, you can stencil sections, and depending on the size of your book, you can foam stamp, you can stencil, you can use your stickers, you can use your collage fodder. I'm looking around here and see what else. Like here's a little collage guy. I mean, something to collage with. These little. This might be. Oh, you know what? This might be Admiral Byrd. I need to send this to Janet, because if that's Admiral Byrd, Janet, this needs to go into your conspiracy chicken book. I'm thinking that might be Admiral Byrd. I'm going to save that for you, Janet. You can use your Tim Holtz people. You can use. Okay, here's like I got the whole seed catalog here. Here's some. And I use the whole seed catalog also to practice my sketching and drawing. Okay, I got you. I put them over there to the side. But you can cut cut things out of like the whole seed catalog, all the fruits, the vegetables, or you can practice your sketching, drawing, color pencil, painting, anything. It's just another good reference for you. All right, let me keep flipping here. That just happened to be there. So you can see how I've painted out the backs. Let's see, let me turn down the brightness just a tad because I'm seeing the colors not quite there we go. That's a little better. So you can see how I've painted out, I've reverse collaged, painted out the backgrounds. And you will get very good at it pretty quickly if you do enough of them. Okay, good, Marsh. I'm going to show this bigger one here in just a second. But it's all the same principle. Okay, so here I painted out the back, added some clouds, added a branch, added some more branches. And you could, you can just play and add whatever you want. Here's one where I just have collage down, but I painted out the back, but I haven't blended this in yet. Same for here. No, I haven't blended this in yet. I'd probably take this teal color and blend all that out with the teal color. Might do some stenciling on this one. Here's one where I've painted it all out. And again, these are not necessarily finished. They're just to play. Like right here, I might think this might be a good one to take, like one of these leaves in red, because there's a little red over here. Put a red leaf over their head here, you know. It's just fun. It's fun to play with your colors, to try to mix your, try to match and blend your colors to the background or to some item in the collage. Like, this was purple, a little bit of purple there. So I put purple and added the green. And you can just, added all the blue. No paint yet here. No paint there. So you can see there's paint here. No paint there. And I skip around too. It's really better to skip around in your books so that you don't warp the spine too heavily. Here's one with purple and yellow. Could be messy. But if you want to do mixed media collage where you're using paint with collage, which almost all my collages are mixed media. I do some, like on the Pantone cards and, certain collages that there's no paint. But for the most part, for me, I like adding paint. I like my mixed media collages. See, all this is blended in here. And then I might take, what's that one? Since I'm almost at the end of this one here. Maybe there's some mist, some clouds. You can there's so many things you can play with. And if you just don't be a fearing. Don't be a fearing. All right, so I don't want to close that now because that'll stick, but I want to just kind of finish the flip here. Okay, so I'll leave this open till that dries, or we'll have an issue. All right, so let me go to this big one here. This one's old. Now, this one is probably 10 years old. I don't even know. Do I have a date? Okay, 2012. 2012, okay? And some of it's going to be wrinkled. It's going to be jacked up. It's not, the spine's kind of, like I said, this is 2012. So that's 2, 3, 4, 13 years ago. So this one's 13 years old. But what I want to show you, again, is the same principle of the blending. So if you have some colors already on there, that's for you. That's your starting point. Or at least this is a practice if you're just starting out. Look at the colors that are already on the magazine, pick 2 or 3 of them, and start blending them in. This is done with a palette knife. And again, I can't find my palette knife right now, but you could also take just a gift card, dip it in the paint, and scrape. You can scrape the colors. I did it with a palette knife. The same principle, though, of scraping in colors. And then you can blend some. You can, finger paint. You can take a brush. But this is the same process. Okay. So let's see here. Here I put a bunch of I left the table of contents. That was the table that was already there. And I just started playing with some numbers. I just got rid of all the white, the text, their table of contents, and I put a bunch of numbers here. I haven't even colored them in yet. And I haven't finished blending out all the collage fodder. Here's some stamping. This is one of my little hand-carved stamps, rubber stamps, the little bunny. You can stamp, you can stencil, you can do... There's just so much you can do. You can take your jelly-plated papers. Let me see, do I have any sitting right here? I thought I pulled a little of everything, but maybe not. Oh, here we go. All right, so here's a little stack of stuff here. All right, so all right, let's look at this. Look at see, I'm looking at the colors. So here's some colors that will work. I'm not going to take the time to glue it down. I just want y'all to get the idea. So here's some collage papers. You could, play with that. Do I have some gel? I thought, yeah, okay, here's some jelly plate. Now these wouldn't really match with this, but I'll keep them right here to the side so that when I come across a page that I think that might work. So you can just see, then I've added different collage. It's a piece of a calendar. You can do your jelly plating. You can, everything goes. These were a bunch of art, Somerset Studios, I think. These would have been a bunch of Somerset Studios because I think I have three of them together. And these right here, guys, like this, I have 4 of these, I think. I have 4 of these big ones like this. I just pulled a few of these. I'm going to show the littler ones. These are more recent, so I'll show those. But these were some of my first ones. Like I said, this was 2012. But you see how I blended in the colors? So pick a color or two. All right, this one says Somerset Life, 2007. This magazine. You can draw and doodle. You can stencil. Here's drew a little underwater guy there. So you can play all different ways. Here's some more palette knife stuff. You can tear pages, make some big, some small. Again, the main colors of this page were orange and green. So I started scraping in more orange and green. You can blend with a baby wipe. This is all blended. So you add some paint, take your baby wipe, and you can blend. A lot of these edges, I took my Distress inks. Let me just grab one here. You can take your Distress inks. There's a pink here, but there's a brown on this one. You can distress your edges. You can use all your supplies. Use all your supplies in these magazine journals. Okay, this is blended out with the baby wipe. This is probably still wet, so I can blend this out with the baby wipe here. Now, if you're using any kind of acrylic, you don't want this. You don't want to close it when it's wet. It'll stick and it'll stick. Okay, here's some more baby wipe blending. Sometimes I'll leave the words that are on the magazine showing. And here's where I saw something I liked for another project, so I just ripped it out. I said, oh, I like that blue. Okay, well, I need some of that blue. So let's use that right there. I am not precious about these books. I'm telling you, I will deconstruct an art journal in a heartbeat. Splatter. You can do splatter, drips. I love this right here. That was it was already on the page. Art is not for sissies. So here's more scraping, either with a card or a palette knife. Some journaling. Here's some pages I took out. Test pages. Here's where I started just yellowing out all the text. This is some of the words that were already there. But I try to pick something in the colors. That's where I go. My starting point usually is the colors. Like right here, I got some beige down. The next thing I'd go in here is with some red, probably with a palette knife or a baby wipe with some red. Here, let's. Now, if I show you anything, see, I have to stop and dry it. So that's it. I'll try to keep it thin so it won't take long. But let's take a baby wipe here, and we can get in here with some red. Maybe this is a street scene or something, and these are the houses. We can turn those into houses. You see what I'm saying? Just you play. You think, well, I wonder what a red street would look like. Well, don't overthink it. Just go in there and put in a red street. Oh, thanks, Tina. So now I do have to dry that because if I close it now, they will stick together. Kevin. But this is the best practice. And if you're not sure it's dry, oh, look, this would be an amazing piece right here. See, right here, this little world needs this right there. Painted in. Maybe that needs to stay, or maybe a little less. See what I'm talking about? This was just sitting on my desk. But if you're not sure it's dry, then take a piece of wax paper and just, keep that in there just to make sure. Okay. These, nothing have been done. It's just the text is all still there. Same for here. So I've got a few sections here because I work back to front, front to back. Here's a big piece of just something glued on right there. More text right here. I'm going to skip over to here. Yes, Red Brick Street. Exactly, Mary. And then some more done ones. Again, this one right here, guys, is one of the earlier ones, but I've got 4, maybe 5 of these big ones like this. I'm going to show you some of the smaller ones. That's more what I would work in now, especially when I'm showing y'all demos and stuff. But this really will help you. I can't, until you do it, you don't know how much it helps you match and blend colors, because you can find some little color that you like and roll with it. Roll with that color. Started drawing a bird here that I wanted to paint over the top of everything. So let me just kind of skip around here. More palette knife scraping or card scraping. And you can continuously add things to it. You could put a bird on all these. Look at these mountains over here. These mountains would be good. Look, mountains here. Wouldn't that be cool? Like these houses are right here behind the mountains. And you just glue and paint and scrape. And then again, if you want to use it as an actual art journal, a big ballpoint pen will write over this. Are y'all inspired? Y'all inspired to try some magazine journaling? Here I just drew a feather with a Posca pen. Posca, you could, do Posca's, it's acrylic paint. Here's more ink, like distress inks around the edges. And then if you do a page you really like, just take your knife and cut it out. Do something with it. More, look at all this is ink. This is all ink pads. Take a distress, or whatever. I mean, let me just grab something here. See? That shouldn't stick the pages together. Distress oxide should not stick my page together. But if you don't know, then it's best to hit it with the heat gun. All this is just ink. Inked edges, playing with all the inks, paint and inks. Okay, so that you get the idea for if you want to use 2 or 3 magazines glued together. Okay, now here's some smaller ones. I showed you the small one. And this one, which I've cut down a bunch of them. And there's 6 halves in here. Dee Dee has to be yeah, I love my collage view. All right, so here again, I drew a line here thinking I was going to cut this one down. I don't know. I'm going to flip through these so y'all can get some more ideas. Again, you can use your jelly-plated papers, your stamps, your stencils, where the stencil went. You can put down paint and blend it out with a baby wipe. Don't negate that idea of let's see here, what do we got? We got a little bit of pink and red, and you can use a baby wipe as instead of your finger. You can just get in here with a baby wipe and reverse collage out with a baby wipe. Maybe that needs a little more purple in there. So it's that's the easiest way to blend things is with the baby wipe. It's a damp one. It's wet. A dry one is just, it's going to be like a paper towel. It won't move things for you. See how quick that was? Maybe it needs a little more here. This is also can be used for your desk journal. If you have one of these just sitting on your desk, so when you have leftover paint or leftover collage fodder, then open this up and throw it in there. Find a page that it matches, your leftovers match, and just, throw that in there. Okay, so basically you can make anything out of anything and do anything. Exactly, Marsh. There you go. But there are certain techniques that do help that I hope I'm showing y'all that help, like using a baby wipe, matching a color that's in the piece, or layering up lots of collage bits and then working from that, adding stamping, stenciling. Thank you, me. And then if you come across and you go, oh man, I want to find something I really like, and then I'll show you what I mean. See, look, I need to paint. I've added a bunch of collage matched by just whatever looked appealing to me, almost like you kind of would do a glue book, but now you got to paint it out, like here. And you might like a piece of something, and but I want to find something I really like to show you my example. So I'm going to flip it. Here I just took a bottle of ink and drew with the stopper. I drew with the stopper all the branches there. scribbled with it. Hi, Miriam. So they're all in just different stages. This one doesn't have, well, here's where I painted one out. So like, let me see something here. What could be a good, I don't want the words here. Maybe this right here would be good. Okay, I'm going to show you. So let's just say, oh, I really like, well, you know what? I think now Arlene's talking about her flowers. I'm going to have to give this page to Arlene when I send her. I'm going to send that to Arlene with her little piece of pink square. But I was going to use it for a bookmark, but now I'm going to find another piece for a bookmark because I want to show you that if you find a little piece of something you like, you can take, and we're going to do a bookmark giveaway here in a minute. You can take your bookmark like this, and it comes with these papers already inside, advertising, right? Advertising the place and all that. These are older. I don't even know if you can get these exact ones anymore, but they're just plastic, okay? Oh, thanks, Miriam. So this, came out of here. So this is going to, whatever size you cut something down, it's going to fit in that. So let's see here. Maybe right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just to show y'all, I'll just tear it out, is don't be afraid to take something out and cut it down. If you really like something, see, I know this size is going to fit in that bookmark. Might have to cut it down just a smidge because it's a little thicker. Okay, so I like this, this, and this. I'll just keep that in there. Okay, so now I've got this. And if I like the words, all right here. When you ride in the warm sunlight, it is day. Let's just cut that out right there. Maybe we will round those little edges. We'll take this piece and we'll glue that down. I'll dip my finger in the glue over there. Okay. Put that on there. Now, if you don't like what's on the back, you can put a piece of, you could either put this on the back, or you could put a piece of, pink, black cardstock, something. I'm just trying to show y'all. You can do whatever. All right, so now we got the little bookmark. Where's the plant? Here we go. It might be good to kind of tack those together. Let's just put a little something to tack them together so it's easy to slide them in. There we go. I'll send this to Arlene too. It's part of the little package, right? And then let's see, let me get my scissors and come over here to my ribbon. Let me dig through here. What do I got? Do I have something pink or cream or, let's see. Hang on, guys. I'm looking. Maybe a little piece of green. I need to order some more of this. I go through this a lot. This seam binding, crink seam binding. There we go. So, see? You just used up a piece of your collage out of your magazine journal. That wasn't hard, was it? All right, so that'll go to our line. Okay. Don't have any crink hanging down where the cats will go, oh, toy. Let's see, you can get those exact same ones. These, the bookmarks, okay, that's good to know, Brenda, so you can get the same ones. You can still get them. Okay, well, that's good to know because I've had those for quite a while. All right, so here's just a bunch of collage stuff again, glued down, ready to paint in, with blue, pink. And the more you practice, like I said, and I can't even tell you how many. I think I've got 14 abandoned, altered books that I've worked in over the years. So that's another way these are a way to practice that before you maybe moved into the abandoned books. or into other, things that you're afraid to do. You do that in these. You can't be afraid to do in these. These are just your leftover, cut up, um, painty, collagey, leftover, stuff. I'm hoping the girls don't cry when it has to come. Oh, cut up your own. Cut up your own work. So this has got a bunch of blank ones back here. All right. So again, I've cut this down. I could cut it down again. Here's another one here. I was going to continue to show you these. And then we'll do a giveaway here shortly. I hope y'all are getting some ideas. So here we go. This has got some stamps, some dots, made some little flowers. You can add your own whatever. All this has got collage on it. I don't know if you can tell, but, I can see it and feel it. It's got all kinds of collage back on top of the cut edges. So I showed y'all at the beginning, when you cut down one of these, take all those little pieces that you have left over. And I don't know what I did with my little piece. Oh, there they are. All the little things that you cut off the edge, and you can reuse them and reintroduce them into your other pages. Like I said, I just have some glue here. Because I'm telling you guys, it's so freeing when you can do something like this and not be precious about it. Hi, Joyce. Who else am I missing? I'm sure I'm missing Jackie. Said hi to Zinjan. Anybody else? Carol, my quiet corner, Carol. Thanks for being here. So, see what I'm saying, though? You can just constantly be adding things. Don't be afraid to cover some stuff up. Then you can go in there with your paints and paint it out. That's the best way to practice your paint blending, your color matching, is with a journal like this. Okay, like I'm just thinking, okay, I got this left over right here, this purple and this pink that's left over. Let's just go ahead and use a little bit of that up. And you can just use a baby wipe if you want. I think that's one of Devin's chairs right there. I think that's one of Devin's chairs. Devin Rex for Art, one of her chairs. And this is Miriam's flowers. These are down here. These are Miriam's. Put a little more pink around the frame. All right, so you get the idea. You can stamp, stencil, paint, collage. It's mixed media. You want to dry or they're going to stick. So here I got a bunch of different collage stuff. I can go in here and paint it in with brown, green, Payne's gray. Like I said, this is just great practice for other projects. You do a whole magazine full. You are going to be amazed at what you learn. You teach yourself with this stuff, and then what you're going to be able to carry over to other projects. Just because you've collaged, reverse collaged, painted in and out, and stamped and stenciled in a whole book like this. Look, now there's a bunch of dots. So you think, oh yeah, that would, let's look at that. That matches. So let's just go ahead and glue this in here. Let's put that right there, maybe. And then maybe I like those dots, so let's put maybe some more dots in here. So you can use a stencil or a stamp or the, let's see here. Let's just use the bottom of one of the paint things. Let's get some black. Or just the lid. Let's just use the lid. Take the lid and kind of twist it in there. So see? Let's clean that off before we put it back on the purple. Reversing it does, Marsh. It does open up a lot of possibilities to take paint and paint out. If you don't, sometimes people go, "What do you mean by reverse collage?" I just think of it as painting out things. And then you can put the collage, you can put more collage, or you can put collage and then blend it out. You're kind of like a reverse process. That's how I named it anyway. It does, Marsh. It does. Okay, so that's kind of thick. It's going to take a minute to dry, so I'm going to go ahead and take some wax paper and put some wax paper down so that it doesn't glue the pages shut. So let's just keep, because I want to keep flipping. But you got to dry it or you're going to get your pages stuck. So like, look at all the green here. So look, all that olive green you could take. Let me grab an olive green. Let's see, where do I have an olive green over here? Some olive green, and there's a little black there still. Maybe a little, this one's almost empty. A little lime green, maybe. Lime green. Okay, the lid popped off. There we go. Okay. Okay, and again, you can take, I don't want to go all the way to the edge because I'll stick my pages together. So I'm going to try not to do that, but normally I'd put some wax paper between there and go right up to the edge. So I'm going to be careful not to do that. Okay, might pick up some of the green. Let's go around her little hat there. Okay. See, and then you can go back and blend some stuff in. You can use your baby wipe to blend. You can use your finger. I just like using my finger to blend. So you see? Let that dry, and then you can go in and stencil, stamp, or whatever on top of it. All right, so there we go. I'm going to move, well, let's see if I can, is there anything else I want to flip through in here? The pink one. But I usually, just pick two or three colors off whatever it is and just work with that. Okay, I'm going to leave that open. Get some more baby wipes to clean my hand. I'll set that over here. Let that dry. Okay. So we go through, yeah, this is the one we started with, isn't it? Okay, some jelly plated papers, paints. Leftover collage, foam stamps, stencils. Let's see. All right, y'all got any questions? Or have I missed something? I'm cleaning my hands off a little bit while I'm reading chat. Thanks, Jen. Am I frozen? Am we moving? Let me do a test here. I don't know. My chat, there it goes. Okay, just making sure. Devin, let's see. All right. So what do y'all think? Have y'all ever tried? I know a lot of y'all have because like I said, that first one was back from 2013. So we've been doing these magazines for a long time. But thanks, Keeks. And speaking of Keeks, let me click on Keeks real quick. Keeks just posted a new video of her. She just moved into a new moved house and into a new art studio. She did a tour of it. So y'all go watch that later. Not right now. Don't go watch it right now. All right, let me take a bite of banana and a drink of my lemon water. And see what else I got laying around here. And that goes to Janet. You'll watch me sort my pin bin. My pin bin? I have my pin bin over here. Let's cut this down because it's too big and annoying. I can sort out my pin bin and do a giveaway. Yeah, napkins. You can use napkins like Kat said. You can use napkins in anything. Here's one of the things about napkins, and I do have a napkin journal. Napkins can act kind of like Velcro, and not necessarily stick your pages together, but make it sound like they're stuck together, because the texture of napkins can make it sound like they're stuck together. Let's see. Do I want anything else to go through here? And I have more of these magazines. The other thing you can do is your little mini comp books. You can do the same thing with those. Starting with collage. Let me pull a couple of those real quick. Let's see. Here's one. So you can start with, and I've given away a bunch of these over the years too. The half comp books and the mini comp books. Let's see. Let's go ahead and zoom in on. You can do kind of the same thing with reverse collage, but what you have to do is you glue down your collage stuff. Let's just pick something here. Let's just pick like maybe this mountain or this piece of what do you call it? Jelly plate or something. And little bits everywhere. Let's pile them. Let's pile the bits. You can start with a comp book like this, or it could be a full comp book too, but I'm going to show you what I've got down in here. Not a whole lot, but you can do the same kind of thing that we just did, but instead of having some images already picked for you, this will be a good way to do the next step in mixed media collage by making your own. So you can like start by gluing some stuff down. Glue more than this, of course, but I'm just kind of showing you. You can glue your own collage images, your own jelly plate. You can glue your own stuff down and then do the same thing. You paint in and out. This one's from 21 and 22. So like here, I glued down this clock and some flowers, and then the rest is paint. And I used the flower colors to determine what color paint I was going to do. Okay, so it's the same kind of process that I do in all my abandoned books, my collage, my mixed media, my art journals, my discs, all my collage and mixed media is kind of done the same way. Not that you all have to do it my way. I'm just telling y'all my way of doing it, and hopefully you can get some tips. Okay, so like here. Okay, I started with the fish, and then painted them in. Painted the blue, the black. Of course, y'all know I love me some watches and elements of time. And then I just did some little rings with some Posca around them, so it looked like they have some movement. I think I will go ahead. I might sort through this because it's really everything. Oh, see, look, here's why. I don't have the cap to this Posca because I've been digging through. And I'm probably going to have to really work to get this one to work again. Yeah, I'll have to work at getting that one working again. Because I don't usually work out of this. But I had 3 different pencil bins. This all needs to be sorted and put in the correct pencil places. Okay, so anyway, so I went around the fish with the Posca to make it look like, and then did stars, did me a bucket of stars splattering. Hunting for her backup keyboard. Okay, all right. Tina's always got some computer issue, I tell you, bless her heart. Okay, so here's the same thing. I started with this piece of landscape here and a piece of landscape here, and then I painted on there. I added the mushrooms, added the girls, added the stars, so you don't have to start with a magazine. You can start with any kind of composition book, journaling, something. Thanks, Miriam. I love me some sci-fi. So again, it's all just collage papers, paint, and then maybe added some extra focal points on top. Same thing for here. There's not a whole lot in this book, really. This one I had fun with. So this is some kind of a starfish, seahorse, fins. I don't know, something underwater. And I just tore that as part of a landscape. And then I cut some out. Okay, I made a portal with the outside of a watch. So when I cut the watch out to keep the watch, sometimes I keep the circle, the outer rim of the watch, and I can make some portals with it. So here we go. That may have been it. That may have been part of this. So they did these back during the virus, I think. Well, it says 2022 here. Then I go in and bucket of stars, add some planets, some stars. So 2022. Not everything has to be, there's my little cat right there. Cotton time. Let's see. So here's how it can start. And it can wrinkle, it can buckle, but by the time you do the other side, it flattens it out. So right here is the piece of collage, and the rest is paint. So this is how they start, like this, carry it over. There we go. Added all the little water drips off the wings. And of course, I love me some universe. All right, so that's all I got done in this one. And then I've had these for some years as well. And they're the same thing. And I would start by using these as desk journals with little bits left over of paint or collage, and then just carrying on with it. See, like this. Pieces of pink flowers left over. whatever. And then I just scrape the paint in with the palette knife, which I got to find my palette knives. I think they're in. Oh, there, I see it right there. There we go. Scrape it in with a palette knife. I can hear Janet in my head. And you can add text and words or whatever you want. I just kind of like to leave it to the imagination. And I know people say, well, you should give your work title. And sometimes I do title my stuff, but or it needs to tell a meaning. Well, I think this is for me. This is just me. I like people to look at my work and what do they see in it themselves without me telling them. What do you see in it? There's a whole sky full of numbers, little buildings down here, some kind of little something on a landscape, lights or flickering or something. Here's somebody standing up here on the top up here. What's in your imagination? I mean, I'm not asking you to tell me right now what's in it. I'm just saying, people see different things, just like Salvador Dali. He could tell you what he was thinking when he was making the melting clocks, or he could put a title to his work. But I think it's more fun and more exciting and more, you go look at it. What do you see in it? What do you think about it? And some of these mean more to me than others. Some mean nothing. Some just the leftover colors and paints. And I can continuously add to them, Like this was just a little piece of a rock thing that I glued down. And then I added the water and the clouds and all that. And this one's kind of coming apart. If it starts coming apart, I just put a piece of tape. You got your new keyboard on? Okay. Tina. And see, you just got little leftover something. You can put it down. You can paint on it. You can make a scene or not. There's see, leftover pieces here. And then I go back in with paint. And sometimes I have a story in my head, but I don't have to tell it to you. You can figure it. You can see what do you think it says? So got a couple of these. Of course, there's Mona. Mona Lisa's my muse. Some just has, some leftover scrape paint and there's nothing to it. It's just leftover pieces of paper and paint. Sometimes I think, oh, that gave me an idea for something. And sometimes I'll use that idea, or sometimes I just like to think, that turned out pretty cool. I used a palette knife. I mixed those colors. I'm thinking about what I did, or what did I like about it? What didn't I like about it? Like this, I really like the way that turned out. It came apart, so I just put some black tape in there to hold it together. This is coming apart. There's one of my hand-carved bees, rubber stamp. Did this thinking of the masks and things. That was no, I won't get into it. So yeah, see. Game of chess. It's a big game of chess. Another one of my carved bees. So, and I have lots of these kind of collage books. These are just, kind of similar to what we've been doing today. So I pulled these, but yeah. I actually got up and hi Amy, good to see you. We're kind of wrapping up most of the stuff here. I'm going to move some of this out of the way. I'll stick my because I've got a. I think I've probably already. Oh, here it is. I've probably already ruined this pasta. Maybe I can work it to come back. Maybe not, but there's the lid. This is why I don't like this. All right, let me back up here a minute. I'll show you. So y'all know I got tons of pens and pencils. Well, I had some of these are the things I use all the time. So some of the things I use all the time, I was keeping in different little pencil cases. I think I had three pencil cases and one of these. And there were just, it was like everything was everywhere. And y'all know I like to be organized. You may not think it when you look in here, but I do like to be organized. And so I just dumped them. Oh, highlight. Oh, thanks, Jan. Thank you so much. I haven't sent you anything in a while either, so you need a surprise. I'm gonna write you down, Jan, for a since I think Canadian Post is still working, right? Canada is still accepting and sending mail. Let's do that and this. All right. Do my banana. I'm going to send you something, Jan. Plus, we're going to have a giveaway here in a minute. All right. Stamps. Hang on, guys. I'm going to pick up a little bit just so I have some space. Okay. There we go. Unplug my heat gun. Move some of these books over. All right, there we go. Whew. Okay. Hang on. All righty. So I have to decide. I'll put all these paints away later. Let's just move them out of the way till after the stream. And my paintbrushes over here. Collage fodder and stencils. Okay, there we go. Thank you, Lady Jan. I appreciate it. I'm just glad. Oh, thanks, Amy. I appreciate you stopping in. Okay, you're catching the fair. Okay, hope everything's going well for you. I haven't heard you. I haven't seen you post anything real recently, Jan. Lady Jan does these awesome tags. I don't know if I can bring. She's probably already gone. She does these awesome nature tags, and I told her she needs to make a book. She needs to make a book. Let's see. She's got 2 Instagrams, Lady Jan and Craft. Let me see. She's probably already gone. Oh, Lady True North and Lady North Crafts. If you go to her Lady North Crafts, she makes these tags, these nature tags that are just, I love them. I told her she needs, some of them might be, well, I don't know if they're all here, but I tell her she needs to make a book. She needs to do a book of all the tags that she's done. It would be a stunning book. And look how many. Y'all just have to go over there and look at all her tags, her nature tags. I'm just picking some random ones. Right? Craft pins in space. Amy. So y'all go follow Lady North Crafts. And she also is Lady True North. And she posts her garden pictures and other things over here. So follow her on both. But Lady True North is Jan, Jaen. And then again, she has Lady North Crafts, where she's posts her tags or cards and other things. But I every time she posts one of these tags, I tell her, # need a book. Let's see. Let's see. Cousin reunion in Vancouver. Okay, well, have fun. Have fun, Jan. Oh, thank you. Kat put her IG in there. So y'all go follow her. Okay, so let me get a sip of my lemon water. Well, so most of my pins, all right now, y'all don't judge me. Just saying. Most of my pens and markers. Now y'all see I have pencil cases for all my major pencils. But then, I have my Prismacolors that I keep in a what do you call it? Silverware tray that I use all the time because they're handy. And so that's one of the reasons I just dump these in here to sort, because having the stuff I use all the time in pencil bags was not working for me because I'd still have to dig. So I just dump them all in here to sort. Now, how I have most of my pencil things sorted is some stuff is by things I don't use a whole lot. Like, for instance, this is what I'm talking about by pencil bags. When I have this stuff I use every day in bags like this, I'm having to still go through and dig. These are my ink cartridge refills for the different pens I have. This one right here is pencil refills. Okay, pencil refills. So I don't mind stuff like this being in a bag because it's not stuff that I use every day. These are refills for my pens and pencils. Okay, that being said, oh my gosh, y'all are just going to go, oh my gosh. All right, so I have other pencil cases that I keep, sorted and organized by. and stuff that I use often, but not as often as what's in this bin. But this stuff in the bin needs to go in some of these. See, and these are almost full. These are my black pens and markers for sketching. They're my Pitt pens, my what do you call it pens? What's the name? This just says graphic. That's not the word I'm thinking. Microns. My microns, brush tip pens, and other kinds of fine liner pens. So these are kind of like my drawing pens, but it's already almost full. And I know. Then I have a couple of rolls. And these are the ones that I'm going to try to put as much of this stuff. And it's not going to be a lot. I think I'm going to have to get another roll is what it is. I'm going to have to get another roll. So, because these are this kind of stuff I use all the time, other than my black pens. And Janet will be the only person here not judging me. These are my black pens. And I got them rubber banded by groups and stuff. Just depending on what they are. But here's my black pens and my black writing pens. Here's my Identipen, my Uniballs. So these I write with a lot. So yeah. So a lot of just black pens that these are mostly used for writing. Bye, Jan. Then in my rolls, I love my rolls. Okay, I love my rolls, just saying. In my rolls, I have different things. So this one, I have my a couple, not all my calligraphy pens, but a few calligraphy pens and my parallel pens that Miss Lisa gave me years ago that she's passed. I love these. I love these parallel pens. And different calligraphy pens, different nibs, different just different pens. Okay, so these have mostly pens. Okay, I have a few Faber-Castell colors I like, and a few sketching Tombos, and just mostly pens in this one. This one has mostly pencils, a few pens. So this is for sketching. These are my sketching pens with the Collage. So I have my Collage sketching pens here, my big pens for sketching. So I would call this my sketch roll. And these are pencils like just what do you call it? Like pencils like this. So this is kind of my these two are my sketching drawing rolls. So if I got my sketchbook out, I'm probably going to be using one of these two rolls. Okay, so I'm not sure how or how I want to do all these. So I'm just going to go through these. I'm not going to dump them out, but do the pins slide in? Yes, they do slide in and out easy in the rolls. I love the rolls because you can tighten them or loosen them at however you want. But yeah, they slide in and out real easy. These are elastic. It's just kind of like your pencil cases. They're elastic. Okay, they're all elastic, and then they have the things that you can go around and tie. Right. Now, all my pencils are in case other than my what do you call it? Prismacolor silverware, what I work out of all the time. All my other pencils are in pencil cases. My Neocolor 2s are still in their tin. My got the ink tints and the Polly's, Holbees, Loomies. They're all in cases. They're all in pencil cases. Like here's my main one. So there's my Loomies, my Holbees. See, and the Polly's have their own case. So I keep my pencils in their cases. But I do have some that are still in their tin, like the Woomers. The Woomers are in the tin, but they're not in their plastic because I couldn't stand that thin plastic. Anyway, all right. So let's see what we got in here real quick. I'll kind of sort this out because if I sort it out and have it sitting on my desk when I leave here, when I shut down, I will clean it up. So here's a catalyst wedge for this. Needs to see right here. This needs to go over here in my jelly plate cart. I had to buy another one of these because Cameron lost his or couldn't find. Oh, he left it at his house here when he went to Yellowstone. And so I just sent him another one. So I have an extra one of those. So here's some of my I've been just making messes in I have a messy art journal. That's a whole nother day. Small glue stick, and this is okay. These are my favorites, the Yoo-hoo. But anyway, there's some glue. So this stuff, it needs to have a home though, just not this big of a home. All right, here's the gold markers. The scissors go over here. Gold marker. I have a whole thing of silver, gold, copper. And these are what I use, and white. These are what I use around my discs. When I or around my art journal, if I border anything with gold or silver or copper, it's with these metallic pens. And they do have a smell. So just FYI. So that goes over there. See, everything has a home. There's a water brush. Here's another Posca. Let's put that over here. We're going to just quickly organize some of this. Here's the my little art graph, water soluble. This is the only color I have. I bought Janet all the colors. Well, not all of them. I think it's 5. I don't remember. But this is fun for sketching with. It's like originally I think it was like a chalk for seamstresses. Love that. Small ruler. Okay, sketching pencils in blue. Here's another graph gear. Whoops, let's get that back in there. Because that'll be, I keep this in the package because that'll be a mess if that's loose. Okay, sketching pencils. Okay. A slam bracelet. Denise, I forgot where we got these. I think it came with a Trapper Keeper. They did a revamp of a Trapper Keeper, and this was part of it. So we got one of these each, a slam bracelet. Y'all remember those? Okay. Anyway. All right. So I got tons. This is also one of my favorite sketching tools, just the Bic pen. So we got that. And I don't know why this is in here. This does not need to be in here. This is dangerous. The nib, this needs to go with in the pencil case. I mean the roll. This needs to go over here in the roll with the other ones. Wrong one. This needs to go in here, right there. So I probably used it, and rather than getting this back out, I just threw it in a pencil case. All right, so after 11, I need to do the giveaway because I said I was going to do it at 11. So we're going to stop on this for just a minute. We'll continue. We'll continue going through here. Giant paper clip. We'll continue going through this after we do the giveaway because I want y'all to be able to pick your own, what do you call it? Let's turn those over because I'm going to leave these in here that came with because y'all are going to do your own bookmarks. I'm going to give you the plastic and you can put a ribbon or whatever. But that's the exact size that you need to cut a collage or something down to make it fit in this bookmark, right? So if y'all weren't here earlier, I bought a yard of this, and 2 yards of this. So if y'all be kind of thinking about what you might like, if you win a bookmark, I'm going to send you a bookmark and a piece of this to do something with. I don't know what you're going to do with it. It's just something I can share with you guys. But if you want pink, this will be considered pink. Here's the thing about the pink. The pink will not probably ravel as bad because it has a thing you can cut through. These are going to probably ravel. You're going to have to sew. You're going to have to stitch them. You're going to have to stitch the edge because I'm going to cut y'all down something. Okay. So this is pink, pastel, and black. Now, if you get one of these, I'm going to ask you, do you want pink, pastel, or black? And when you tell me, if you say pastel or black, I'll let you pick a color. Okay, but we can't do this all day. If it gets too long and we're waiting for you to answer, I'm just going to pick. Okay, so don't be dilly-dally dawdle lollygagging. So you can see how they kind of fray, but you can play with them. I just thought it might be a little fun little giveaway. So these were, if y'all weren't here earlier, I got these at Michael's that have moved over from Joann's. Okay. So Joann's closed down. Michael's bought all their stock and stuff, and I guess they distributed it to all different stores. My store got a bunch of fabric and a bunch of the trims because Michael's doesn't usually carry fabrics, trims, and ribbons, right? All right. So let me get my Post-its here, and let's do this. Hang on. Let me get a little organized. So we'll do 2 US, 2 international. I got to find my iPad too. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's almost gone here. Let's get it. Okay. Oh, my iPad's in here. It's in here. And like I said, I did print out a whole bunch of the cards that I showed on Monday. I'm going to trim them down, mount them on black cardstock, and these will be some of the giveaways for the channel supporters. If you super chat me, you'll get something out of that pile. Okay, so let me get my iPad going here. Hang on. Don't put any numbers in yet. Okay, let me go to random.org. Okay, random.org, loading, verification. Here's my number thing here. All right, so we'll do international only first. See, the cap came off of this again. It's just not sticking for some reason. Okay, let's see. All right, we'll do international only. We're going to do 2 international, 2 US. International only. When I put in go, put in a number between 1 and 100. First 2 people closest without going over will get a bookmark and a piece of this. I think it's cool, like granny square crochet ribbon thing. So I might put 2 pieces in there. We'll see. Okay. Where do I random? Come on, load back, random. You went away. What happened? Am I going to have to? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. All right. Remember, international only, 1 to 100, 1 number only. Don't change your number, move your number, any of that. Just put in a number, and the first 2 people closest, yes, wait for me. The first 2 people closest without going over. International only first. Okay, then we'll do US only. Get a sip of my lemon water. All right, international only. I'm picking up stuff as I'm waiting here. The brushes and the stuff. My palette knife always stays right there, so that's, those scissors stay there. That ink goes right there. Okay, I think I'm a little organized except for this. And putting away all the journals that I pulled out this morning to play in. And my paints that are over there. And Malibu's over there. It doesn't take me long to pick this stuff up. It really doesn't. But this is annoying me because if I want something, I have to dig. I don't like to dig. I want to be able to right at it. All right, get your numbers in. I'm going to count down. 10, 9, 8. Hi, roll. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last call. If you got your number stuck in there and haven't hit enter, because once my stop pops up, that's it. Okay, here we go. First 2 people closest to 4. If everybody went over 4, which they probably did, I will pick a new number. I'm going to look. Oh, Devin got 1. All right, so Devin, you be thinking about which one you want, because I'm going to do it again because she's the only person that didn't go over 4. All right, so we're going to pick a new number. Here we go. So Devin gets 1. 3. Well, everybody went over, so we got to pick another number. 63. 63. First other person closest to 63. So Devin, you be thinking about what you want, and let me look up 60 closest to, she wants a pastel. Okay, I'm going to let you pick a pastel. Hang on. All right, so hang on. Let me see who got 63 or closest to 63 without going over. Scrolling back. Scrolling back. Let's see. Yvonne had 50. No, yeah, Yvonne had 54. I'm scrolling. Miriam had 64. So let's see. Miriam had 60. Oh, that's over. So I need 63 without going over. Ugh. All right, let's see. I know y'all have already probably told me who it was. Who is it, guys? Okay. It's 60. Here's the deal, guys. 63 without going over. That was the thing. It was the number was 63. So who got 63 without going over? Okay, so it's Yvonne. Yvonne had 54. Okay, so Yvonne had 54. She did not go over. Marsh, thank you so much. You're so sweet, Marsh. I appreciate that. I do have something already sent to you and your missus. You'll probably get it in the comments. No big deal. It's just something I thought y'all might like. So thank you, Marsh. Okay, so let's see now. All right. All right, Devin, you had it first. So do you have a particular color? Because I'm going to give y'all two each. All right, then we're going to do U.S. Let's see. Hang on, guys. Too many Post-its. Too many things. Let me get a pair of scissors. Okay. Yvonne, Tina. Yeah, it was. What was the first number, guys? What was the first number? Somebody tell me what the first number was. All right. Kat, you let me know if there's an issue going on. Okay, I'm going to give you a pink and a green here. If your number came in after I said stop, it doesn't count. The number was 4. Okay, the number was 4. So Tina Sweden went over with 9. You have to be under the number. You cannot go over. Okay? All right, so Devin, I'm going to give you those two. All right, and then the other person was Yvonne with 54 because the number was, I should still have that one sitting there. The number was 63 on this because everybody else went over. So I picked a new number, which was 63, and Yvonne had 54. Right? Okay. We're good? Okay. You can't go over. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, Yvonne. What do you want, Yvonne? Yvonne, I'm going to let you pick. Do you want pink, pastel, or black? Okay. Unless she's already said, and I've been doing this and I lost it somewhere. So Yvonne, what one do you, let me put an M there. I'm pretty sure I have both of their addresses. Okay. Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Kat. I don't want to be hurting cats, people. I try to do this, and we're going to do USA. Okay, so Yvonne, what colors do you want? Pink, pastel, or black? And if she already said, somebody tell me. Okay, I'm going to wait about 15 seconds, and then I'm going to pick for her myself. Okay. I'm not getting an answer from Yvonne. This is why I don't like to let y'all pick. Because it's such, if there's a lag or anything, we're all just sitting, waiting. She said I could pick. Okay. All right. Well, then I'll give her the pastels as well. Okay. So I'm going to cut 2 pastels for Yvonne. Oh my gosh. I try, people. I try to have some fun things. All right. So Yvonne and Devin. I do my best. Okay. Next, we're going to do USA only. Hurting cats. No, usually our giveaways, we got it kind of down to a science anymore. You know, we really do. I mean, we have some glitches every now and then, but we do our best. Okay. USA only. Wait till I type in go. When I type in go, put in one number. Don't change your number or any of that. First 2 people closest without going over. Thanks, Devin. I try. Mary. Gonna make me quite contrary. Mary, I'm going to write you down for a happy mail. Thank you so much, Mary. I've been doing the little prints till they run out. That's usually what I do. Is I do a giveaway. I do giveaways for thank you y'all for super chatting me. And when I run out of stickers or prints or whatever, then I get to do a whole nother batch of something. So thank you, Mary. Now, Mary, if you'd rather have one of these for a giveaway instead of a print, let me know. I'm going to give you a chance, Mary. If you want one of these for a thank you, well, I'll give you two. I'm giving away two. If you can have this, if you'd rather, Mary. Anything? Okay. Well, do you like these, Mary? Would you use something like one of these? I know how you like this kind of stuff. So, all right, we're going to do USA. Only think about it, Mary. Think about it. Okay. y'all, a couple of y'all, Melinda, you're going to have to re-put your number in. Melinda, and who else? Anybody else got ahead of me? You're going to have to, unless Janet or Kat tells me that she made it under my number. Okay. All right. Oh, Devin, thank you. You're so sweet. Y'all, guys. All right. y'all, I'm sorry. Don't say, oh, you don't have to send me anything. If you super chat me, you're getting something. So I'm just telling you. That's right. Just put it in again, Melinda, or a different number since you went ahead of me. Just put it in again. Thank you, Devin. I do send thanks for the super chats. Okay. Okay, it's all right. All right. That's all right, Melinda. All right. So I'm going to count down. Get your numbers in. 1 to 100. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last call. Hit that enter button if you haven't already. Okay. Let me get come back over here. First two, new number. We're picking a new number. 34. First two people closest to 34 without going over. 34. Scrolling all the way back. First two people closest to 34 without going over. 34 without going over. Okay, Beth Schuler has 33. So it looks like Beth might be, and Amy Lester had 32. So I think it's Beth Schuler. What did I say she had? 33. And Amy Lester, am I correct, guys? Y'all double check me. With 32. And Amy, I don't think I have your address. You'll have to send me your address, which I don't share with anybody. I don't put you on an email list. But I don't think I have Amy's address. Am I correct? Well, let me scroll down. Hang on. I am correct. Thank you, Mary. Okay. All right. So Beth, you get to pick first. What do you want, Beth? You want pink, pastel, or black? Which one do you want? Pink, pastel, or black, Beth? And then Amy, you tell me too. Well, we have plenty. So there we go. And Amy, here's my email address. There's my email. Beth said black. Okay. Get my thing. All right. So I'm going to cut off two of the blacks. And again, they're probably going to, oh, that scissor's not working good. I don't have my fabric scissors in here. There we go. That one's better. Okay. Beth wanted black. And Amy, what color do you want? Hi. Oh, Annette. Thank you so much. Okay. So there's Beth Schuler. Let me write down Annette. I'm going to send her a thank you for her super chat. Thank you so much, Annette. I will send you unless you want one of these, Annette. I gave I gave Mary the option too. If you want one of these instead of a print, Annette. All right, so Beth said black. And Amy, did I get, when I'm looking, I'm scrolling, guys. Scrolling. What did, okay, so Annette, you want black? Okay. I'll send that to you, Annette, for the super chat. Thank you. Okay, that's going to Annette. All right, now I missed Amy. Oh, you didn't have to do it. Melinda, do you want one of these for the super chat? Okay, I let me get Amy's color first. Did she say? Let me scroll back because I'm going to get lost. What did Amy say? Did she say, Amy, I need a color? And Annette, if you'd write, I mean, Melinda, if you want one of these. Black. Okay, Annette said black. Okay, so let me get the black. Okay. And then Annette. Oh, I got Annette. Melinda. Okay, so there we go. Got Beth's. Okay. Melinda, do you want one of these? I'm scrolling, guys. Hang on. All right, what color? Do you want pink, pastel, or black? What do you want? Let me flip this over here. Pink, pastel, or black? Which one do you want? Thanks, guys. Oh, sweet. Oh, you want to print, Mary? Okay. Let me write that down. Mary wants a print. Okay. I got you, Mary. Okay. Melinda Black. Okay. Now, Melinda, do I have your address? Would you mind sending it to me again? Here's my address. Again, I mean, I'm pretty sure I do. And I probably ask you every time. Do I have your address? Okay. Oh, you changed your mind to pastel, Amy? Okay. Okay. All right. Let me get Melinda here. Melinda wanted black. Amy, you have to send me your address too. Okay. Let me pull that back. Amy doesn't want black. She wants pastel. Okay. Hang on. Hang on. We're getting there. We're getting there. Hang on. All I need is enough left to make a Barbie sweater. All right, so there's that. All right, hang on. My mom to let me know if I'm missing anything. Okay, thanks, Melinda. Send me your address, and Amy, send me your address, please. Okay, Angie. All right, did I get everything? Did I get everybody? Y'all let me know right now. Did I get everybody? Thank you guys for all the super chats. I need to. Okay, that's all right. We're gonna go in here in a minute anyway, Mary. So thanks, Mary. Thank you so much for the super chat and just for being here. Don't forget to follow Mary. There, let me click on Mary. Mary streams. She streams usually Friday. I think Friday nights she streams, but otherwise she streams pretty early in the mornings. That's when I usually watch her. I catch Mary early. Mary's early. She's earlier than me. Mary early. Keek's post. All right, Keek would be able to have one for the super sticker earlier. You mean okay? Okay, what do you want, Keeks? What was it? Keeks, what color? Yeah, thanks to Arlene. Keeks, tell me a color. Pink, pastel, or black? Which one do you want? Black. Okay. I already have one cut right here. Okay. Because Mary changed her mind. Or, well, Amy changed her mind. All right. There we go. All right. So I think I got everybody. It's a little more convoluted when I let y'all pick. You know what I mean? But I like to do it every now. I can't do it every time because I'll be going crazy. Let's see. And all right, so Miriam is streaming with somebody else on her channel today at 12:30 and tomorrow at noon. So y'all follow Miriam. I don't know who Miriam is streaming with. I don't think she said. I already have done. Please. Oh, thanks, Kat. I appreciate that. All right. So real quick, I'm going to move these out of the way, and I'm going to finish kind of just doing this real quick. Let's see. Let's move this. All right. I don't want my little color selections to get away from me here. Let's put that right there. Okay, there we go. Thanks, Kat. Okay, Miriam's streaming today with Diane, Lexi, and Davy. Okay, y'all follow Miriam. And Devin comes on at 3. Devin comes on at 3. Thanks, Devin. They do. I love my mods. They do work hard. Even Janet. Janet cleans the bathroom and makes the coffee. And Devin comes on at 3 Eastern. All right, let's real quick here. Let me just kind of let's see, because I got all right. This is one of the wipeout tools that needs to go. That needs to go over there. Okay, my pencils. I love this. Is another a refillable. This is a refillable one. This is a 9. So this is a thicker pencil than the 7s that I usually use. So this and this needs to be, okay, I don't need that. Another pokey tool. Same thing for these. These are wipeout tools. They have their own little spot over there. This is a blendy tool. Here's my sketching. That's a sketching pencil. Pens. Let me just kind of another blending tool. I can go over there. All right, pen. I'm just going to move another palette knife. That goes over there for sure. I'm always losing my palette knives. A little brush. And let's see. There's my little ruling pen. Not sure where to. I guess that needs to go in the case. Okay, pens. I'm just going to put all the black pens together. I won't make y'all watch me sort pens. But my black pens can all be in their own little. Here's some ink cartridges. Another rubber, what do you call it? Wipeout tool. See? Thanks, Ego. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. Sketching pencils. Gold pen. These are just pens. I'll sort through those separately. See, this is going quick. Here's my Bics, my ruling pen. Let's just separate that. Gold goes back here. In that bin, a couple of erasers and little, what do you call it? Sharpener. This goes with that. Another palette knife, a bigger one. My liquid. Well, it's not liquid. You add water to it. It's graphite, water-soluble graphite. This kind of goes with that. Thanks everybody for being here. Everybody's jumping ship now. Oh no, pencil sorting. I'll see ya. I just was determined to finish this. Glue. Okay. Let's see. Pens, marker, Copic tips, bone folder. A new one, Jan. A clean bone folder. Here's another graph gear. Let's see. A pipette. That can go with some tool, something. All right, let's get all the marker pins. Thanks everybody for being here. Ink cartridges. Oh, that goes over there. This, I love this one because I think this is the one. No, no, maybe not. I have one of these blending stumps that was Denise's in high school. Has her name on it, so that's how I know it's her. Was hers. Okay, and here's another calligraphy pen that needs to go in the wrap. I'll go through all the black pens here, later. Pencils, a black Prismacolor, top of a water brush. Where's my here? This one there. On top of a water brush. Another blending stumps, blenders. Another, what do you call it? A bone folder, white pencil, blenders. They have their own little cubby over there for those. Metal palette knife, white gel pen, sketching tool, sketching pencil, white pencil. I love these. If y'all love to sketch big and bold, you need a woodless graphite. You need one of those. Sketching, woodless graphite, black, black marker. Another one of these. Another one of my calligraphy pens. This is another good one, guys. For those of y'all that stayed long enough, you'll get these tips. This is the General XXXB. This is the darkest pencil you will ever find. The General XXB. It's almost like writing with just black. It's just wonderful. Okay, here's another ruling pen. Where did I put the other ones? In here somewhere. Where'd it go? Where's the other ruling pen? Somewhere right over there. Okay, some refit. Here's a sketching pencil. Black. What do you call it? This is a wheel that you, what do you call it? Like a sewing wheel, but you can use it for other things. Okay. White gel pen, sketching pencil. Okay, I think that's it. A couple of little plastic things and a couple of paint brushes. Okay, I think we got this kind of organized. I just have to put them away. And I will have to sort through this. This is the only thing I'm going to have to sort through is these. Oh, wait, sketching pencil. There we go. Tracing wheel. Thank you, Ann Megs. I don't use it for a tracing wheel. You can do rubber, make it look, not rubber stamps, postage stamps. You can do other things with it. Okay, so I think that's it, guys. I think I'm going to head on out. We're only 5 minutes past 11:30, so I think we got everything. I hope y'all enjoyed the giveaways and seeing some different things to use with mixed media magazines, and got a lot of tips. And because everybody can do a magazine. Everybody can do a mixed media magazine. And I'm telling you, it's your best practice for blending colors and matching colors, sorting colors. I'm telling you, try it. Thanks, Miriam. All right. Thanks, Tina, Janet, and Cheshire Cat, my mods. Y'all have a blessed day. You too, Arlene. Thanks, guys. We'll see you all later. Over at Devon's, at least. I got to go do lunch for before anybody else. So for Hupster. Bye, guys.